Welcome to the 161st episode of the IntelleXual Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Dawson.
And I'm Kristen Naomi.
And we want to welcome you all back to the show and just give you a little bit of an intro to who we're talking to. It's kind of a big deal for me as a huge fan of the show that this guy is on. It's Arrow from the CW, which for me is probably one of the best comic book adaptations put to screen that I've ever enjoyed. We are sitting down and chatting with Echo Kellum, who plays Curtis on Arrow. He's a recent addition to the cast. He's been on now for, I think, 2 seasons. About to go into his 3rd. And, man, it was just cool to get to talk to somebody on one of my favorite shows on television.
You're fanning just a touch. Professional fanning.
And he gets to act with one of my all-time favorite actors on TV, Mr. John Barrowman.
Yeah.
And if we could get John Barrowman on the show, I think my head would explode.
That would be a great time.
Yeah. But no, Echo was very kind and set some time aside before his Comic-Con appearance this week to sit down and chat with us. And it's a good chat. It's a good chat.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really wonderful talking to him. Really down to earth, very, very cool dude.
Yeah, a lot of the discussions we've been having with people recently have been really uplifting to me. They've been helping me in my own journey quite a bit, and today's discussion is no different than the ones we've had the last couple weeks. So, so it's about a half hour with Echo, and then we may chat a bit afterwards. And we often do. Yeah, we might have. But sit back and enjoy this chat with Echo, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff at The IntelleXual. And on Facebook, we're IntelleXual Entertainment. And make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/IntelleXual Network. We will be doing a lot of stuff there this week for Comic-Con. So you want to make sure that you are subscribing to us on YouTube so you don't miss any of the updates of things that we do.
Yep.
From Comic-Con.
A lot of stuff going on, guys. So, yep.
Yeah, we've got some good access this coming week.
Oh, yeah.
We're at Comic-Con. We're at Nerd HQ, where we have, the best access.
Full access.
And GamerCon, where we also have, full access. So it's going to be a really great week. Make sure you're tuned in. Don't miss out. YouTube.com/IntelleXual Network. Follow us there by clicking the subscribe button. You'll get notifications when we do updates. And make sure you're checking out the website, theintellectual.com or ixe.us. And now, for your listening enjoyment, Echo Kellum from Arrow on the 161st episode of the IntelleXual Podcast.
Talk hard and enjoy the mindgasm. The IntelleXual Podcast starts now.
I'm extremely honored to have you on our show, the IntelleXual Podcast. As a big fan of Arrow, for me, it's incredibly cool to have Curtis Holt on the show. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much.
I think first things first, we're a San Diego-based podcast. So forefront on our mind right now is what's coming up in just a couple of days. It's Comic-Con. Yeah. Are you going to be down here for Comic-Con?
Yeah, I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Awesome. So you're getting a good 3 days of the experience. Have you been to Comic-Con before? Yeah,
I've been there before.
Awesome. It's
love all the conventions, and I did E3 this year, and it's a ton of fun.
Conventions are great. We're huge fans of them. Does Arrow have a panel this year?
Yeah, we do. It's Saturday at some. I don't think we're away yet.
Nobody we've talked to knows exactly what time their panels are on.
Nope, not a one. That's okay.
I go where they point me. So what's the ride been like getting onto Arrow? How did you land the role of Curtis?
Yeah, I went in and auditioned for David Rappaport, and he really, I think, saw something. Because he even mentioned to me he felt like Emily and myself would be a pretty good fit with each other. And so I auditioned for him, and then I went back in maybe the next day and auditioned for Wendy and Mark and another producer, and they filled me in on who the character was, and it was like a code name at first, and I was just really ecstatic, and they really saw something in me. They thought I could portray him well, and the reception from the fans and the cast and crew has been nothing short of amazing, and I just feel really fortunate and blessed to have this opportunity, and it really has been a life-changing role.
Now, they were pretty meticulous in introducing Curtis into the overall Arrow story, which I really appreciate. I appreciate that they take the time to develop characters before just throwing them in with the whole mix. How was that process of going from essentially a third-party player to now, you've been really involved in the storylines towards the end of this past season. What was that like for you to get to have that chance to kind of slowly develop Curtis and let the fan base kind of grow accustomed to who he is?
Yeah, I really enjoy that too. I like that they do that with all the characters and how they're going through different arcs and different things, and I think that's why we love these characters so much, whether it's like Diggle, kind of being in his dark place now because of the photo of his brother, or, Oliver and Felicity and figuring out if they want to be together. It's just they really do take their time to develop and really explore these characters. It took Laura Lance 3 years to become a Black Canary, and it's nice to see them go through this, very surgical process in how they develop the characters, really take their time and let them really build. And I think with the stuff that they're throwing in this season too, is like you're really seeing, the progression of Curtis, the character, and seeing, how he was from the first episode when he met Felicity to where he is now, where we're shooting, is a pretty amazing experience to be a part of, and I think the fans are really going to like it too.
Awesome. I'm so looking forward to see where Curtis goes. Because it's been quite the journey.
So what was the last part on that?
Oh, I said seeing where Curtis goes next is really I'm really looking forward to it, because it's been quite the journey so far, from kind of the eager guy who just wanted to impress Felicity to now being like a part of the team and understanding this kind of wider thing that she's doing. And he's smart. He started figuring that stuff out on his own, which I love. I love that it's a smart character. It's an intelligent character who's not blinded by the things going on around him.
Yeah. I really liked how Wendy Miracle phrased it. She's like, if Felicity's the software, Curtis is the hardware. And I definitely think like his computer engineering prowess is definitely something that'll come into play and, help out with a lot of things in the season too.
Awesome. And with Supergirl moving to the CW, like all the DC TV shows now are under that same umbrella.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
Can you tell us, is there anything in the works? Are you going to be appearing on other shows within that family of series?
Well, as the actor, I would be very excited to be on any of those shows, whether it be Legends or Supergirl or Flash. They're all really good shows with some really amazing, phenomenal characters and actors who like bring their everything to it. And, I don't have any specifics. They kind of keep us in the dark in a lot of ways for good reason, because we would spoil everything pretty much. But there's definitely been layers that there's, a lot of possibility of, having a lot of fun with those crossovers and dipping our toes and, different, series and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see where they go with Curtis. I personally would love to see him and Cisco, have a scene together and interact together.
I think nerd heads would explode if Cisco and Curtis got together and started working together.
Yeah, that would be sick.
How were you a fan of the comics before you landed into Arrow, or have you been kind of exposed to that world by landing the role?
I definitely read some Green Arrow comics as a kid. You know, we were like big Flash, Batman, Superman, but we would read whatever comics we had as a kid. I definitely read a couple, but once I found the news of the show, I definitely got more engrossed in like understanding that character and, you know, Mr. Terrific and, you know, everything that really encompasses them and drives them, and, you know, just do my research to make sure that, you know, I was being true to the character to the best of my abilities, and then also just being true to knowing the world that the character would inhabit, you know. As every actor, I'm sure, does, you know, just research and make sure that they know everything on their role, even though they're going to bring their own perspective and own spin to it, you know. But it's always good to know what's up. But as far as comics, you know, I've just been a huge comic nerd my entire life. Video games and anime and, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon, whatever, you know. It's just,
you're good. You're safe. You're safe now.
Me and my friends, and, you know, it's like we all have, like, Pokemon Go right now.
Yeah.
One of my friends is a Chicago PD, like, detective, and he's been, like, going out collecting them, and it's so funny how people are like, the cops are playing Pokemon Go, what's happening?
Wait, so you're from...
I was just hunting in the park yesterday with another adult friend who's married and, like, works on at midnight, and we're just so stoked about finding 2 Pikachus, and we're like, we're grown men.
Yeah, right. Everyone's kind of, like, denying it right now. And you're from Chicago, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
I'm sitting there. All right, this is probably why. Because I'm looking. I'm like, I know this guy. I'm from Chicago too, born and raised. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I swear he looks familiar. You were at IO, weren't you? You went through IO?
So I studied IO in California.
Oh, you did?
I honestly missed the boat in improv in Chicago.
Oh, see, that was
theater out there though. I did theater. I did like a lot of storefront theater.
Okay.
Like that. And definitely, if you were out auditioning, we definitely bumped into each other.
Okay,
like,
that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. I mean, it's really like a small pool when it comes down to it. Like those people, everything kind of overlaps.
I was in like all the improv auditions. I went to all, and you know what's so funny? It's like I always wanted to do improv, and once I auditioned to be on Second City's, like, get a Second City diversity scholarship years ago, and I didn't get it. But I always knew I wanted to try it. So when I moved to LA in 2009, that's when I was like, you know what, I'm doing these improv auditions in Chicago. I've gotten a little work. I really got to figure out what this improv thing is. And that's when I just really started studying everywhere. Like, improv has become such a huge part of my life now.
Oh, that's great. No, that's great. We definitely probably bumped into each other in a waiting room somewhere, and we're pumping each other up. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not like LA. It's not like LA. Chicago's a little bit better. You can still talk to each other.
Yeah, Chicago's like a real blue collar kind of Midwestern value city. I feel like we feel like we're in the fight together, as opposed to it's either you or me. Out in LA, you know, to get a little cutthroat. But I think that's a real beautiful thing about the improv community is that the type of people it attracts just tend to be less about self and more about others, and like having just kind of humble aspect to how they approach life, and like, you know, because you got to kind of get way to like not be afraid to look stupid on stage and to make your partner look as great as they can. Those are like kind of tenets of improv, so it kind of slices through a lot of the bullshit in Hollywood.
Yep.
And I felt very lucky to get into that subset of the community, because then it's like at all the auditions, I see all my improv friends, and we like pumping each other like, man, I want you to get it if I don't get it, and just, you know, all this really cool positive affirmation of each other.
Yeah, that yes and mentality kind of crosses over. I love it. That's so great. And I'm sure that's helped you, you know, with the rest of your acting as well. Improv just does so much for everybody when it comes to the creative outlets. It's good. I tell everyone to at least take one improv class if you can.
Oh, yeah. I would second that 100%. You know, it really does open you up in a lot of aspects in your career and in life, too, you know. But for me, it's definitely like awoken the writer, director aspect of myself, or like the real, just awoken up a big creative trance in myself, where it was just, I used to be so focused on just acting, and then I was like, oh man, I really want to create and, you know, get dirty and really put out my art, you know. So it was a big factor in that.
Well, I would think the improv training too probably helps with the tight TV schedules that you work under now, because you don't really have a ton of time, I would assume, to really rehearse and go through scenes too much before you start shooting them. So it's got to be a good tool set to have in your pocket while you're doing television.
Yeah, I definitely am so thankful to have that because, you know, with improv, you can kind of be a blank slate and you can really go with the flow and moment. And as you say, you know, in television, it's all changing so much, so fast. Like, you might be on set and then it's like, new lines coming in right now. And you're like, okay, it's just 3 pages in, you know, and you still just got to go with the flow and still bring your all to it and be professional. And when you do improv, you're instantaneously on stage, writing, directing, choreographing, acting, editing, music, you know, all of it instantly. And then so if you have the ability to step back and actually have a script or have a camera or whatnot, I think it's like working out with weights, and then you're able to take those weights off and you can really dive into it and have an in-person perspective because you're used to creating all this stuff on the fly and you actually get to have a little patience and time to figure it out.
I like the weight training analogy. That's cool.
I love that, yeah.
That's really cool. So does Arrow shoot in Vancouver?
Yeah, it shoots in Vancouver.
So how are you enjoying being in Vancouver as opposed to being in Los Angeles or Chicago?
Well, you know, Vancouver is a gorgeous city. It's so beautiful, just surrounded by mountains and water, and the people are so nice. And I'm still trying to understand the metric system, but it's still great. But I guess I know Celsius to Fahrenheit. I know that now, so that's good.
Nice.
You know,
Thank you, Canada.
Play up weekends and still perform. Like, I have a show every Friday night at ECB, and then a show on Saturday nights at iOS that I still do, and I come back to LA to write, and then I have 2 children, and I, you know, come back just to be a dad, and, you know, LA's my heart, you know, my home, and Chicago's definitely the place where I cut my teeth, and it'll always be where I'm from, you know, but, you know, it's just really, Hollywood's always been a dream for me as a kid. Like, that was just the one thing I always saw, those Hollywood mountains, and the Hollywood sign in the mountains, and was just like, I want to be there one day. And even before I started getting work, when I was just kind of like broke, living from friend to friend couch, I would drive out to the Hollywood sign and be like, so happy and so content, you know. So it's nice to still get to come back here on the weekends.
That's beautiful, man.
That is beautiful. You know, there's a lot of struggling creatives out there, and, you know, you get really down on yourself. I know, you know, Dave and I both have friends that are in their 40s and they're like, this is not going to happen. I can't do this anymore. And we're just like pumping them up, you know, as much as we can, saying, you know, don't give up, don't give up. It's usually right when you're about to, that's when something happens. And there's some of the hardest working, wonderful, talented people I know. And it's really hard to get down on yourself and, you know, not want to go through with what you're doing. But it's when you follow your heart and your gut, you know, and you got to keep telling yourself, this is where I want to be. This is who I am. This is what I love. And this is what I'm going to do. And I love hearing your story, man. You got to keep telling it. There's a lot of creatives out there that need to hear it.
It's so true. Because, you know, and the thing is, it doesn't follow any certain path. And you might have friends whose path seems to be going this way. And you're like, what the heck? Like, what's going on here? But it's just a thing like where you just have to keep attacking and keep being in it. You know, my first series I did was a series called Ben and Kate. Nat Faxon had been out here for 13 years working his butt off and not taking anything for granted. And he won an Academy Award and is a star of this amazing show all in the same year.
Wow.
And, you know, just a lot of life-changing stuff. But it's the thing, like, you don't know when it's going to happen.
Exactly.
It might happen in the moment where you're like, I got to get out of here. But it's like you have to just follow your heart and your dream and just keep pushing.
It's persistence. And not comparing your career to anybody else's. I think that's really important.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important. That's so important. You know, because if I did that, I'd be back at home. I'd be like, I'll never be Childish Gambino or something. You know, whatever it is. You know, you just can't compare. Like your path is your path, and that's good and important. And not everyone is going to be Will Smith. You know, but I think the underlying fact is, if you have a passion and you give your all to it, you can make a living doing it.
And that's the thing, expectation, right?
Yeah.
You make a living at it.
Yes.
You know?
Living.
Like
yes.
That's that for me is the goal. I want to make a living at it. I'm not worried about being famous or super rich. I just want to be able to survive doing the things that I love to do.
Yeah.
What was it? Somebody was saying the other day.
That's all it's ever been about. It's like, if I can act and make $50,000 a year, I will be happy because I'll be doing what I love and still able to afford a home for my children.
How old are your kids?
10 and 9, going on 27 and 28.
And how do they feel about Dad being on Arrow?
You know, they really like it. I mean, like, their friends think it's pretty cool that I'm playing a hero, but they know me like just a goofball. This guy's just super silly and can be stern, you know, because I do believe that, you know, you have to work hard for everything you have, and it's important for kids to know that, you know, nothing in life comes easy or free, and that, you know, you got to put the work in. So I'm like stern, but also like fun, and you know, so it's an intricate balance, you know. But I think they really do appreciate the work I do, and they appreciate the fact that I'm kind of, you know, like, but you got to make sure, you know, you don't take things for granted, you know, and kind of helping them learn how to just be humans and not feel like anything, like you said, expectations, not having expectations that anything should be handed to them or whatnot, that you have to work to get what you want in life.
Yeah, I think that's the key to success in anything is you got to work at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you have any other projects going on outside of Arrow? Is there any films in the works?
Yeah, I got a couple films coming out. One is called Village People, and we hope to get into Sundance. It's starring Aya Cash, George Basil, Brandon Scott, and myself. And it's just basically a film about his brother and his brother-in-law taking a trip up to Nicaragua to kind of find himself in this kind of hipster commune. And I'm like the leader of this hipster village or whatnot. But it's a real fun, like, coming of age kind of, you know, film. And I think it's really great, and I can't wait for people to see it. And another film I have coming out in February was written by and starring Bob Odenkirk, called Girlfriend's Day. And, you know, Bob Odenkirk is one of my comedic, you know, icons, you know, growing up and watching Mr. Show and him and David Cross. You know, it was such a dream come true to get to work with him, you know, play one of his friends and his coworker. And I can't wait for that to come out. I believe that's coming out on Valentine's Day. And it's going to be released on Netflix and in theaters on the same day. So,
oh, wow. Well, that's a new thing.
Yeah, that's perfect. Cover all bases.
I'm very excited. And then I'll be on Rick and Morty season 3 in like about 3 or 4 episodes on that. So out for that.
That's fun. Rick and Morty is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
Justin and I love working with them.
Well, that's fantastic. And you're on your way. You're going to be on your way down to Comic-Con. Are you guys really like? Are you taking a break from shooting Arrow just to come down to Comic-Con, or did it fit into the schedule?
Well, I think this year we did make sure that everyone was able to do Comic-Con. There's still going to be work happening on Friday, but that's really the only day that we really have to worry about is that Friday, because we're all coming out for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the most part. But we'll still be in production. But I believe most of the actors are going to make it.
Yeah. I've seen...
I'm working Thursday, so, you know, I'm like... You know.
I've seen a lot of videos online from the Heroes and Villains conventions that Stephen Amell and Barrowman and stuff go to all the time. Looks like you're just like it's just a fun cast that enjoys being together. Whether you're on set or not. What's it like just hanging out with those guys outside of the set, like when you go to conventions and stuff? I mean, is it as much fun as it looks like on the videos, or are you putting on a show?
Nuts and fun and silly and outrageous. And I think that's why it works so well, because we're all that way. I mean, like, we're dirty and play jokes, and I mean, it's the best type of environment, especially being someone who, you know, I wasn't on the show the first 3 seasons, and, you know, I had a lot of trepidation coming in, you know, being like, oh man, I hope they're nice, or I hope they, you know, like me, you know, or whatever, you know. And the fact that, you know, they just get Mr. B and they are totally like me and like really silly and are very professional, but like don't take the job so serious. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's so serious where you can have fun and still do the work. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's such a great show. And that it shows because like everyone has such a good relationship with everyone else. And we're all just very professional, but absolutely insane people.
Well, I guess you kind of have to be to work with Barrowman.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know, I didn't meet Barrowman until episode 22 of last season. Was the first time I ever saw him. And the impact he's already had on my life since that moment of like, I mean, you talk about like, he is, first of all, one of the most legit actors who like can bring it every single take, knows his lines like that, and then they can call cut and he will do a breakdancing set or something like, and you're just like, oh my God, like it is just like so fun, and he's just a ball of fun energy.
Yeah.
Period. And that's something that's so important for actors, and I feel like people like me, especially coming from a comedy background, to be like, you can still kill it and have a shit ton of fun on set.
Exactly.
You know, and that's something that Barrowman really embodies.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to see him in 2 panels.
At an awards, and I got to go there for that. And I mean, he's just so funny, and you know, he gets it. He gets it that you can really have this. That this career field can really be a fun, completely, you know, professional and satisfying field to work in.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a fan of his since he appeared as Captain Jack Harkness on Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I followed into Arrow because John was on Arrow. And
oh wow.
So I've gotten to watch him develop, you know, through a couple different series now, and Torchwood as well. But I've seen him in a couple of panels, and I went to the Nerdist podcast a few years back at Comic-Con where he was the guest. And it was the most entertaining hour and a half I think I've ever had in a live venue in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm jealous that you're anywhere near a set that man is on, because I want to work on a set that John Barrowman is on someday, because that just seems like it'd be the best time ever.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you should be paying him at the end of work. Like, wow, you really had it going today. You know, it's like it's a show. It's
wow,
he's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
And it's great to have folks like that who remind you that you know, it's play, right?
Yeah, it's still a creative
we need
venture.
To have fun,
yeah,
and it's not just a job.
Not just business. Yes,
it's art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's fantastic.
And I love that you described yourself as a father as being goofy.
You know, he's fortunate too. Like, he doesn't take it for granted either. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I think sometimes we can forget in our bubble of actors and producers and directors that you're fortunate to be in a position to be able to create and have an effect on people. I mean, it's not being a doctor or anything, but it's still something that I know when I have a down day or whatnot, I go to art or media or something to kind of pull me out of it, and that it means something to me, and that we are fortunate that we get to be in that field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I lost my mom a few months ago, and it reminded me how much and how important it is, the things that we do, the entertainment that we put out into the world, because, you know, quite frankly, in the midst of losing my mom, I was looking forward to seeing the finale of Arrow this year, you know, and it was a chance for me to escape and feel something other than what I was going through. And it was wonderful to have Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl and all that stuff to look forward to in the midst of all that, you know? And yeah, you're not a doctor, but what you're doing, it makes a difference. And having those shows to look forward to in the midst of things I was going through this year was really important to me. And like I said, it's a huge honor to have you on our show, Echo.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry to hear about passing and everything. And I hope that you guys honor her memory and, think about the love that she brought to you guys.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely.
We watched all the shows, got to the end of the TV seasons, and then Naomi and I here took a few weeks and went traveling. Went to the Grand Canyon in Seattle,
Oh, wow.
sequoias, and all that stuff. So
Yeah, all that's part of emotional health. As creatives, that's what I think we forget too. As creatives, we also need that emotional health, and we all need a dose of our own medicine sometimes. And then you look back and you're like, whoa, wait, I did all this. I did this film. I did this television show. I went here. I traveled there. And then you look back and you're like, you know what? Life isn't so bad. You just celebrate life and you celebrate art. And I think by doing so, by being yourself and being who you are and being the creative you are, you're going to spread more love and more art. And that's exactly what I think we're all trying to do. I know I am. So thank you, Echo.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that, the world can be, things going on, and you look at things happening in France and even Baton Rouge and, Alton Sterling and just everything that's happening, and you lose hope sometimes, and then there's so many good things about the world too, though, that we tend to get caught up in with the mix of a select few, very small percentage of humans who want to terrorize and create fear and make us think that we're all out against each other and that we have no hope. But there's so many good things in this world, and sometimes media can help deal with those discussions and help us see the light of that too. Because all our characters are going through these intense situations and stuff, especially in these comic book shows, and
especially on
how
Arrow.
they find a light in there, I think is important for us, so that we can find a light in our own existence too.
Yeah, that's been for me one of the great kind of central themes of Arrow, is this man who's gone through so much darkness and has come through on the other side and feels like he has to live in that darkness to try and protect everybody else's light. But in the last couple seasons, it's been as much about Oliver figuring out that he has to have light in his life too, and I think that's such a wonderful central theme in the show, is can you survive the darkness of life and come out the other side and still feel like you deserve the light and can live in the light. As somebody who's gone through a lot of trauma myself, like that's a beautiful theme for a TV show to be tackling, and Arrow tackles it so well. I love what you guys are doing on Arrow. The storylines are so mature and so well thought out, and all the work that you guys are putting in and the work that you're putting in, I look forward to every week, and I want to thank you for the entertainment that you provide me all year long.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And I mean, for me, The Fams has been probably one of the best aspects of getting to do a show like this, because I've been on a couple of TV shows and they were canceled after a year, and it's like, what was it? Like, it's just so tough when like no one is passionate about it, and just being a part of something where people are actually passionate about. And I don't want to say that, because we did have people who were passionate, but to have like the passion be so amplified and like that people get it and that it's kind of a universal thing, it's such a blessing to be a part of. So that makes it so worthwhile for me. Just the fan reaction and how vocal and passionate they are.
Yeah, it's always great when you're on something where passion flows through.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that Naomi and I are always looking for in the people that we surround ourselves with and the productions that we want to be a part of, is, where is that passion? Because passion is, for me, like the end all be all of whether or not this is worth doing.
Yeah, no, agreed.
So, well, I know we're actually at the end of the time that we had with you, and I just again want to thank you for coming on. You'll be at Comic-Con Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A panel sometime
Saturday.
So everybody,
Some point, yeah.
everybody
pencil
needs
in
to
sometime on Saturday.
go in and pencil in an arrow somewhere.
Put an arrow somewhere.
Yeah.
Will you be down?
any
Will you be
arrow.
down doing signings and stuff too?
Yeah, I think so. I've never been to Comic-Con like as a performer, I guess. So I really don't know kind of what to expect, but I guess.
This is great. Yeah. This is going to be my first time going to Comic-Con too. So we're in the same boat. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm super excited.
Well, I'm going to say this. Naomi's got a professional pass for Comic-Con, so she'll be on the lookout for you being at a signing table. I want to make sure you get some FaceTime with her.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And if you guys make it over to Nerd HQ this year, and I know some of the Aerocast made it to Nerd HQ last year. I think Steven and Mel's got a panel lined up at Nerd HQ already for this year.
Wow.
If you make it over to Nerd HQ, that's where I'm covering stuff, and I want to make sure that I get FaceTime and say hi to you in person as well. So be on the lookout for the intellectuals while you're at Comic-Con, because we'll be looking around
scattered
for you.
all over the cons, all over them. Yes,
Love it. Love it.
So cool. Well, thank you so much, Echo. Have a great time at Comic-Con. Like I said, we'll be keeping our eye out for you. Hopefully, we can get some FaceTime in person.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
Great. Thank you so much, Echo.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. That was cool.
Yeah, he's a nice dude.
Yeah, coming into a show as late as he did, because he wasn't on, like you said, the first couple seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time he came on, I mean, Arrow was a huge hit, and they were already spinning off Flash and
Everything. That was when everything was
else,
going.
Mm-hmm. To come in that late on a show has got to be a little nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved his character the second he showed up on screen. There was just an ease to the way he delivered the lines, and his personality meshing in with Felicity's. It was wonderful.
Well, that's good casting too.
Yeah.
That's what he said. They saw something in me, and they thought that him and Felicity would connect, and obviously that's the truth. So
yeah, it's really, really cool.
that's cool, and it's cool that he was a fan too before, so he already grasped the concept and the overall tone and feel and character arches, and I really do think that does change a lot when it comes to these comic book films and television shows. It sometimes, once in a while, you can not be a fan ever and come in and blow people away, but there's something about the fans, because they're just so much more invested, and they understand all these different dimensions of the characters, and how dark they go, and how much like the drive that they have to save all these people. And I think there's a certain connection as a fan to those characters you have. Whereas if you're just an actor coming in and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to learn about this character, it's completely different. You've spent years with these characters as a fan. Yeah. So you truly know them in and out. Yeah. So you can kind of just click right in, and there's something, it's a different kind of click in. So, but, that'd be for the same if somebody, knew like, Little Women, and they read the book a billion times. They were like, man, I know these women. They're so little, and I know them.
And they're girls.
I'm going to be them. I'm going to be these little women, And so it's, might be a little bit similar, but comics are a little bit different. So, he seems like a good dude. And like I said, having the comic background that's definitely going to help. It's definitely going to help. And I think, especially with these specific characters, I think it helps a lot.
Yeah. I know you don't watch a lot of television. And you're a busy lady, and why would you? Yeah. But I watch a ton of TV because I don't sleep much.
Maybe that's why you don't sleep much.
But the DC TV shows are so well done. And for me, the DC animated films, the Batman Beyond and all of those, the DC Lego stuff, which we had the wonderful opportunity to cover red carpet for their latest a week ago, and all these DC shows that are on CW now, I think are just fantastic.
Oh yeah,
television shows, and for me, capture the spirit of DC Comics better than I've been feeling in their feature film endeavors. And the endless debate about Batman v Superman. The fact of the matter is, I think it missed the mark. But I think the spirit of DC Comics lives on television right now.
Yes, I would agree.
I think the way they've integrated these shows together, the way Flash integrates with Arrow, the way Arrow integrates back with Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow is like its cool own thing that's a blend of both of those shows together. And bringing in characters that were on both of those shows and putting them into a whole nother thing. And now Supergirl coming to the CW.
Such a smart move.
Such a smart move. And the episode where they crossed over Flash into Supergirl on CBS last year was so well done. And with the things that they're doing on Flash this year, I can see how they can create it in such a way where it will make sense to cross over to Supergirl on a frequent basis. So I'm really looking forward to see what these guys are doing, because they really seem to understand that their TV shows, much the way Marvel has figured it out for their feature films, their TV shows have to establish characters first and then start integrating them into the larger universe, and they've done such a fantastic job of that. And in some ways, the fact that Supergirl had a whole season on CBS where they only had one crossover episode was probably good for Supergirl, because she's got a whole season of establishing herself and who she is and figuring out what her role is within her own story. Now they can really start integrating her into the other shows, and I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
That whole universe building thing, man, you got to be patient.
You have to build. It's a whole universe, guys. It's not an apartment building. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've been saying about, Marvel. It took them 10 years to build up to the Avengers films. That's not, you want to start small and, dive into these characters. Let people enjoy it.
And even with all the universe building that they've done, you could argue Age of Ultron was still a kind of mixed bag film.
Yeah.
So even with all that universe building up a large film with that many superheroes together is still a tricky business.
Yeah.
To jump in and do it without building that universe first, it's weird.
To me, it feels like a pie. All right. When you look at it on the windowsill and you're smelling it, you're like, oh man, this is going to be good. It's going to be so great. It's tasty and delicious. You can't sit down and eat the whole freaking thing. You're going to be sick. Right. Okay. You have to have one piece at a time and just enjoy it. And then you might have one slice and go back and be like, all right, you know what? I'll have one tomorrow. And you just go back and you keep having those slices over and over again. And then you enjoy the whole pie instead of just throwing it up. You know what I mean? I had a whole big pile of like Batman versus Superman puke after I ate that whole pie. You know what I mean? It was just too much. It was too much at one time. I couldn't deal with it. And I didn't want to. More importantly, I didn't want to. I wanted to enjoy it and I couldn't. Yeah. It was just too much for me, like we were talking about with Gabe, all these Easter eggs for all the fans. Like it was too much. It was too much. Yeah.
It was very much a fanboy film.
Yeah, I'm giving that pie back. Here you go. you can have it. All right, as long as it's a vegan pie, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, Comic-Con 2 days away.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm
preview night's Wednesday night.
I'm just calm before the storm. You know what I mean? I'm kind of taking it.
Are you gonna try and get into the raffle for the Star Trek Beyond
I'm
screening?
Gonna try. I might have to stay overnight and camp out for the first time in front of Comic-Con. I don't know. I really want to see it. It would be worth it. It's a 50-year anniversary.
We can watch it that day at the theaters.
I know, but it's not the same. It's not the same. I mean, if we don't get in, I want to watch it at the theater, but it's not the same. You know how cool that would be? That would be way cool. Yeah. And like my first Comic-Con ever, being like,
I'd be so envious.
I know. Well, no, you'll just hang out. You can just hang out and we'll talk to people online. I have no idea. I've never talked to people in line before. I've never camped out in line before. This will be my first time camping out in line. I've never done that.
You've never done that for anything?
No.
Really?
No, I hate lines. How many times do I have to tell you this?
You do hate lines.
I hate waiting in line. This is not what I do. I literally left the DMV today. I was like, this is not happening. Because we had a podcast. I was like, nope. You know what? And normally I have an appointment. Normally I'll just walk in. All right, I have an appointment, whatever. If it takes like 20 minutes, it's fine. That's why I don't do roller coasters either. I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be fun. Nope. And I walk away. I'm like, it looks great. I'm going to be over here where there's no line.
So that's a good point. So when I do finally take you to Disneyland, we're going to fast pass everything.
Yes.
We'll fast pass. We'll watch shows. And when our fast pass comes up, we'll just go get on.
No children day. No children / line day at Disneyland will be perfect.
I don't think there's a no children day.
Isn't there an adult day?
No.
What? I was informed there was an adult day at Disneyland. Who lied to me about adult? Are you trying to trick me to go to Disneyland?
No.
Someone's trying to trick me into going to Disneyland.
No, I would never tell you there's an adult only day at Disneyland.
That is bull. Someone said there was an adult day.
No. That would be horrible business for Disney.
That's terrible.
Think of all the families that come
I got actually excited.
all the time.
I got excited for like a second. I was like, sweet, I can drink, I can swear, I can do normal everything, but I can,
technically you can't drink in Disneyland. But you can drink over at California Adventure.
I don't know what that means.
There's 2 parks here.
So that means I have to leave the park to drink to deal with the children at Disneyland? That is not okay. All right. Pre-gaming before Disneyland.
There's bars in downtown Disney. So you can drink in downtown Disney.
Okay,
which
downtown
is
Disney.
in between the two parks.
So it's like the gas lamp of Disneyland.
It's exactly what it's
Oh,
like.
that sounds great.
There's a House of Blues and like all sorts of stuff there. So in downtown Disney's cool.
Super. Okay.
But there are some children.
But then the drinks are going to be like $23 for a margarita.
You're at an amusement park.
Gosh.
What do you expect? But then Disneyland
That's
itself.
not very amusing to me. I'm just saying.
Disneyland itself, which would be Magic Kingdom at Disney World. Okay, Disneyland has Main Street and Tomorrowland and Frontierland and all that stuff. No drinking in that park except in one place. That's Club 33, which we are not invited into. That's the exclusive club.
There's a club in Disneyland.
It's one half of what was going to be Walt's apartment in New Orleans Square.
Okay.
So like the whole second floor of all the New Orleans buildings are all connected, and it was being turned into Walt's big apartment complex so that he could stay there.
Oh, like specifically for him, not to like have people like tenants or anything.
Right.
Okay.
Not for tenants, just a big giant apartment for Walt.
Oh, okay.
But he died before he ever moved into it.
Right.
And so what they did is they took half of it, turned it into a museum, and they took the other half, which included the kitchen, and turned it into Club 33, which is this like exclusive club. You have to have a membership or be part of a company that has a membership to get into it. I've been in it.
Okay.
And it's cool. And basically it's just like a really fancy lunch dinner service kind of thing. In this really ornate room, and all the finest silverware and whatnot.
Oh, the finest silverware!
Yeah, it's amazing. It's it's gorgeous.
That really sells me.
It's just
I
really
eat with
gorgeous.
bamboo.
I know you.
I don't
bamboo.
care about fancy silverware.
You're
You're not selling me on this Disneyland
in China,
thing.
in like beautiful China, like it's just.
Why are there little Asian people on the table? I don't understand that.
Stop it.
Okay, that was a small. It's a small world joke.
Yes,
just so
I got it.
Okay, good. I just want to clear that up.
But that's Club 33, and that's the only place that you can have alcohol in Disneyland. But across the entry plaza is the newer park, Disney California Adventure, and there's a winery and alcohol served all over that park.
That sounds like adult Disneyland. Yeah. Okay, that's where I want to go.
Yeah, so that's got more.
The other part,
more
let's go in for 10 minutes and see what I need to see, and let's go back to the adult Disneyland.
It's going to take more than 10 minutes to do Disneyland because that's where Star Tours is. And,
I mean, I'll go to Star Tours. Can we just do Star Tours and leave?
Well, you want to do Star Tours, you want to do Space Mountain because
No,
they've done Space Mountain up in Star Wars too.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to take.
And it's not
I
at all
want to take like an hour,
like
maybe. I can't stand being around all those crying, happy children for that long. Okay, Star Tours, and then we leave. I need to go to the winery. Okay, I'm mapping my own day out. Stop. Then I can woo.
Do you trust me?
I do, but I mean, do you trust me around children? See, this is the questions you're not asking yourself.
No, we'll bring you headphones and an iPod, or not an iPod, but you can play music
so
while
I'll
we're standing in
be
line.
drunk when I get to Disneyland with headphones and sunglasses.
And we'll get you through it. We'll get you through it.
I'll just have a shield around me so I don't even.
No, but what I like to do is the fast passes. So I like to go watch shows and stuff. So we grab a fast pass, and you can only grab a fast pass so often for various rides before you can get another one. So I usually try to get to the park early.
Okay.
Because the kids.
How early is early? So now you're waking me up at 5 a.m, and I have to be around crying.
They don't cry at 8 in the morning, and there's fewer of them in the early morning.
Really?
Most of the kids that you don't want to be around show up around 11 a.m. So between 8 and 11, that's 2 hours where generally the lines are kind of smaller, and you can bang out a bunch of rides.
Okay.
So you get a fast pass for the really big ride in whichever park.
Okay.
As soon as you come in, and then you go grab one of the other good rides that doesn't have a huge line yet.
Is there a day that people don't go normally? If when they go back to school, right?
Yeah.
That's when we're going.
We're not going during the summer for that very reason.
No.
It's
because everyone from all the country comes to Disneyland.
But as soon as the lowest level annual pass can start going back, that's when we'll go back.
Okay.
Because that means that the crowds have come down to a point where they're like, "Hey, guys, come back. We need you to come back." And that typically then is local SoCal residents.
See, they should just have margarita day, and then every adult gets a margarita, and then when they're done with that, they get another one. You know what I mean? This is the things they should be implementing. They should have adult day at Disneyland. I don't care if you already have a low attendance from children going back to school. You might as well appease the parents and be like, hey, guess what? Your kids are back in school. Have a margarita. Come to Disneyland. Everyone would go. It'd be great. It'd be margarita madness at Disneyland. Yeah. Exactly. Mickey Mouse margaritas. That's what we're going to have.
Mousegaritas.
See, I'm already doing them a favor.
There you go.
We're naming drinks for them.
We're gonna have a good time.
Wouldn't that be cute?
When
though?
I take you to Disneyland,
I'm like a margarita glass, and the side of it would have a little Mickey Mouse ear. See, it's a good idea. Everybody wants to do it now. I'm getting really thirsty talking about this. All right,
but we're gonna have a good time when I take
all right,
you to Disneyland.
fine.
I promise.
Hopefully,
I can't guarantee you that you won't see a crying child, but we will have a good time, and we will avoid them as much as we can.
Definitely earplugs and headphones for sure.
Yeah.
So then I won't be able to hear them, but I'll be able to laugh at them.
There you go.
See?
That's what you like.
Mm-hmm. Laughing at children's pain. Yeah. Oh man.
We'll have to get like a walkie-talkie system so that we can still talk to each other.
No, you have to learn sign language. That's yes.
I was like, knock on the door? What?
No, that's yes.
It's really funny. I directed a movie with sign language.
I know you did, and you for some reason you don't even know yes. That's like basic sign language. Oh my gosh.
Anyway. So, looking forward to Comic-Con. It's going to be fun.
Oh right, Comic-Con. That's what we want to talk about. Yeah.
Make sure that you're subscribed to us on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/intellectual network.
Mm-hmm.
You can subscribe to our channel, and you'll get notifications when we post stuff. There's a high degree of probability that we will be streaming our coverage live to our YouTube channel. We're working out the kinks on that over the next 48 hours, and hopefully that all works. If not, we'll still be posting to YouTube, so make sure you're checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
And check out our website, theintellectual.com or ixe.us, for movie reviews and music reviews and podcasts and everything else. And did you know I submitted the podcast to iHeartRadio today? So we'll see if we get picked up by iHeartRadio.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe we go into Club 33 then, if we're on iHeartRadio. Just kidding. I don't want to go there.
No.
I'm sure it's a lovely place. Anyway, moving on. But yes, you guys should all check out, and obviously Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. We're going to be live
Instagram,
there too.
Twitter, those are the Intellectual. If you're on Facebook, it's facebook.com/intellectual entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And you can follow me on the Twitter, David S. Dawson. You can follow Naomi on the Twitter at KNAOG1.
KNAOG1.
And I just realized my Instagram is not David S. Dawson.
No, it's not.
Me Burma.
Yep.
MEBURMA. So, follow me there. Mostly I'm posting as The Intellectual, so not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be Instagramming, we'll be tweeting, we'll be YouTubing, probably do Facebook living.
Oh yeah, all of it.
All that stuff. So
it's just stay glued to your social medias. Whether it be on your desktop or your mobile. Yeah, just constantly. If you have 5 minutes at work, be like, all right, what are the intellectuals up to, and just catch up. And
anywhere you're following,
we're going to be doing everything for the next Comic-Con week, and we're going to be jumping around, like we said, Comic-Con and Nerd HQ and GamerCon as well. Yep. We got word we're going to be at NerdCon, but that's not till August.
Right.
But we're going to be covering all the cons. Everything you need. If you're not there, you can go to the Intellectuals, and they will be giving you all of the juicy gossip and all of the best of the cons that's going on this week. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. So, yeah. Good. And follow Naomi on Facebook, Krista Naomi Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow me on Facebook, The Real David S. Dawson.
And everybody keep in mind, there is going to be a music and film mixer
August
2 weeks.
2nd.
August 2nd. So
music and film mixer at the Whistle Stop in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi hosts, and it's going to be awesome. And we're going to show music videos and some short films.
We're going to have
live
a couple
performances.
of bands playing.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a real good night. It's the first music and film mixer that IntelleXual Podcast is sponsoring.
Mm-hmm. And it's the first one back. We had a little hiatus.
Yeah, couple months hiatus.
Yeah, we're going to be back. There's nothing going on in August, guys, and it might be around my birthday. So
yeah, we might be celebrating a certain special co-host birthday.
I'm just saying, everyone's going to be there. You should be there too. I don't want you to miss out. So it's going to be a blast. So come on down, guys.
And And then we got the 48 like 2 weeks later.
Yep. It's going to be jam-packed. Like around a month until 48. It's going to be good. It's going to be real fun.
So cool. Yeah. Keep following us on social media. Be sure to listen to as many of these episodes of the podcast as you possibly can. And please share them.
Share and like.
Don't just like. Share them. Share is better. Better than a like. A like is good. It's friendly and nice and we enjoy them. But a share means you're sharing it.
A share means you care.
And you care. You care enough to share the very best.
Yeah. Super.
So until next time, this is the Intellectual Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Dawson.
And I am Kristen Naomi.
And we will talk soon.
See you guys.
Hello there, citizens. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the floaty that will not flush no matter how many times you try in the toilet bowl of crime. I am Darkwing Duck, telling you please, talk hard and enjoy the mindgasm. Whatever the heck that means. After all, you are watching IntelleXual Podcast with your ears.